Hey, welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. This is Aaron Washington, your host of the No Trade Clause podcast, brought to you by Sports Business Classroom. This is going to be a short installment here. Hopefully, this is the first in a series of interviews we get to do with some of the members of the Overtime Elite program. Their main focus is to develop basketball players, give them a great experience, and really give them the opportunity to use this as a springboard into the next phase of their career, whether it's college or the NBA. Our first guest here is Somto Cyril. He is a center for the RWE basketball team for Overtime Elite based in Atlanta. Having a great season so far. Only 2 games played, but he's doing some great things, and he's definitely going to be on team's radar here going forward through his career in college and the NBA. Hey, Somto, I want to thank you for the time here, man. Really looking forward to this interview, and great work so far this season for Overtime Elite. Really love your game, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. We'll get this here started. Real simple question for you to start this interview. Just really want to ask you about the OTE experience overall. Just want to get your thoughts on it, your opinion of the program overall. What have you thought about it so far, being a part of it? You're going into a new season here early in the next campaign. What are your opinions of the program? What have you enjoyed about it? Is there anything off the court that you've enjoyed about the program that really stands out to you? Just really want to get some of your initial thoughts here on just being a part of this awesome program so far.
I would say the most important thing that stand out to me is I think this is the first time there's something like this, like just different. Like, it's not like regular things you're used to. Like, normally when people like graduate from high school, they go to college. Like that's the traditional route people take. But like this is the first time,
Right.
and there's something like this, and within like 3 years of its existence, they had much success. Like he had players from here go to the league, and it's just like a great feeling when like, okay, this is the early stages, and we having like great success, like with what we're doing. So it feels good to be part of this whole thing, and and again, aside from basketball, you have guys always checking in. Like it build great relationship with people here, like away from basketball. So it feels
Mhm.
good to be like it's like one big family. Like everybody checks on everybody, and it's not a lot going on because I think there's decent amount of people here, so we know each other and we know everybody. So it feels great. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. That's something I've noticed as well. You guys look really connected. You watch each other's backs, and you're getting a lot of great development along the way. So really love to hear that about the program. And you also mentioned that it's something new. I think it's something that it hasn't quite been done before like this. So it's really cool that you're a part of something new, something groundbreaking. And I think it's really kind of setting waves, not just in Atlanta, not just in America, but all around the world. I mean, you yourself, international player, this is great platform for you guys and where you come from and who you represent. So that's really cool.
yes.
Next, want to get into your game specifically. Just kind of ask you about what you've been working on. The season's already started, but as you went through the off season, as you went through the combine, what were some parts of your game that you really focused on working on? Was it your post game? Was it shooting? The weight room. Like, what were some key points of emphasis for you going into this season, and what are you really trying to show people here in the beginning of this new season here with RWE?
I think the most thing I really focused on this off season was like I believe I could develop on my physical part of the game whenever, and you know I feel like I already do a good job with what I do physically, but I'm mostly focused on the mental part of the game. I watch a lot of films. I try to expand my basketball IQ and a lot, and I think it shows like this preseason and this past few seasons because it helped my numbers increase. It helped my teammates numbers increase. Like it helped me and whoever I'm around in general. Like it helped us a lot. And again, yeah, you know, I think since I've been down here, even before I got here, I've been a player that physically I like to improve. So I'm always in the weight room. Like when I go in there, I do what I do. I take care of business in there. Practice during the games, like But the most important thing is me improving my mental part of the game. And so far, I see like it helped us a lot during preseason, and I think I'm looking forward for the season. Like just see how it goes.
For sure. Have you felt like the mental part of your game, like really focusing on that, is like really helped you in terms of like decision making? Do you find yourself just being better on the court about making the right pass, making the extra pass? being in the right spots in the court?
Okay, yeah, most definitely. I feel like he helped us because last year my rebounding and my points and so far this preseason I averaged like 5 blocks, and the past 2 games I averaged 5 blocks, and I
Hmm.
lead the league in rebounding with 16 rebounds. It's just like paying attention to little things, details, and when you watch films, you see where you make mistakes and what you do good, and just helps you from there and improve. And I think so far it's helping me because obviously I see changes and my coaches see changes. So I think I did a good job this off season, and but still I still get work done physically. I do my due diligence. I work out every day. We have skill work every morning, and we have weights. We have everything. So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the different coaches you've had because you started last season on the City Reapers team, and then you were traded to the Cold Hearts about 6 games in. And then this season, you're on a new team again. So you're with the RWE team this season. So that's 3 teams in pretty much 2 seasons of play for you so far. So wanted to get your perspective on being traded and being on different teams and playing for different coaches. What are some of the challenges you faced moving from different teams, playing for different coaches, being in different systems? What has the adjustment period been like for you as you're in different situations? Having to go from team to team and being in different situations. What has that experience been like for you so far?
honestly, it's challenging to play. When you have like a team like you guys bonded together, and like you've been with them from day one. Like like you said, I said over the Super Reapers. Like we built like the solid bond, and we were together from the very start after the draft. Like my first month over here, so everything. So yeah, it feels it's kind of challenging to like get a move from what you used to going over to start like a whole new process, and different coaches and different play style and different personalities. So it's just like you just have to figure it out, and you know uh just figure out how to deal with it, and adjust to what the coaches are used to, and find a way to like build a new bond with your teammates, because I think that's the most important thing outside of basketball: the connections you have with your teammates, and the chemistry you guys have. The coach is gonna tell you what to do, but the way you play on the floor is based on how you guys communicate and how you guys behave off the court. So I would say,
Right.
but for me, it wasn't really challenging because I felt like my main goal is to win wherever I go to. So it helps me lock in and stay focused and take care of what I'm supposed to take care of. And when you take care of what you can control, the things that you can't control will take care of themselves. So um,
Yep.
I just focus on the little things and the important things, like getting my teammates together, and also bringing the energy that we need. So yeah.
For sure. That's a really good answer, Samto. Because honestly, like not just in basketball, but in life, you have to deal with situations to where you're in a different city, you're living in a different country, you're playing for a new program. And honestly, that brings out the best in players a lot of times, just having to deal with the change, deal in different situations. And it seems like for you, that's helped a lot in your development. Just,
Yeah.
getting an idea of like different ways the game is played because you're playing for different coaches. And I'm sure they have different strategies as far as like how you're used as a player and how your teammates are used. And you bring that same energy everywhere you go, which is really impressive to see. And next up, kind of wanted to ask you about your teammates. You've had a lot of different teammates. You've played with a lot of different guys. You've played against different players so far in these couple of seasons. So I'm not sure if you heard the phrase "Somto," iron sharpens iron. It's thrown around a lot. Basically, what it means is you have two. It can be players, it can be people, two great individuals really competing against each other. You make each other better through the competition. So I wanted to ask you about that part of the game. You're practicing against these guys almost every day. You're playing against them in games. Who are some players that you've gone up against, you've played with, that have made you better as a player? Like you go up against these guys, and you're like, wow, they're really talented. They know how to play the game the right way, and they made me better as a player. Like, what are some names that kind of stand out to you as far as the really good competition you've gone up against so far that's really made you better?
Obviously, this is like a place for the best of the best to be. Like, I don't think anybody over here is not good at basketball. Like, I
Sure.
think everybody over here is like really good on what they do, and But I would say I really try to adjust based on what I see, or but based on situations I see. obviously you have like other big guys over here like that are super talented. Even the guys we had last year and this year. So I would say I tend to adjust my play style to whoever I'm playing against, because of course, we have a guy like Jar Jackson. He's a really big guy, strong, and
Yep,
he's like really great with basketball. So you have to adjust, and that's what when it comes in play with watching films. Like when you watch films, you know what he's great at and what he's not. Then they try to use his weakness against him. So you know. When you play players like that, you try to like figure it out and listen to your coaches and the scouts on the film and everything. So it's just I feel like whenever we play each other out here, it's just like pure competition, energy, and when you compete, I feel like you always take care of yourself. But players like Jar Jackson, John Ball. Last year we had Alexa, who's a projected number one player, number one pick this draft. So
yep.
when you play against guy, if you really want to win, I think you always have to figure it out. And like I said, take care of the things you can take care of, and the other things you're gonna take care of yourself. So you know.
For sure.
Uh, I always go into the game with a single mindset just to win, and I don't really care who I play against. But
Hmm.
I believe every day we play against each other, we definitely make each other better because we have
For sure.
discussions after the games and we look at films and we talk about stuff we did on the floor. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up Jaw Jackson. He's actually one of the players that I had the opportunity to interview in person. I attended the combine, and yeah, that's something that really stood out to me is like the big man talent specifically in this league. I mean, all across the board, like you said, the players are talented, but the big man competition that you have to go up against is really strong. Like you said, Jaw Jackson, Alex Sarr. I watched Alex Sarr in the showcase. When they were playing against the G League Ignite, he's a really strong player. So the competition you're going against is really impressive. So I just want to throw that out there as well. And while we're talking about big men, for you, like you mentioned before, like you're averaging a ton of blocks. You averaged, I think, 3.4 blocks a game last season. You're dominating the boards right now. The first two games, your stat lines were 17 points, 17 rebounds. That was against the Cold Hearts. Then you had 6.16 rebounds against Jelly Fam in the next game. So, I mean, you're averaging a crazy amount of rebounds, basically 16 and a half rebounds right now. Some people call you Baby Shaq. I've seen that name thrown around here a little bit. It really kind of speaks to your strength, your power, what you're doing in the paint right now. So, coming off of an OTE Defensive Player of the Year award, averaging so many blocks, rebounds, you know, what allows you to be so successful in the paint? Just kind of patrolling the paint, defending the rim. What is it for you? Is it the strength primarily, the basketball IQ combination? Like, what allows you to be so successful in the paint as a player?
Yeah, I would say mostly, of course, the power comes in play because you have to obviously when you play against guys that are big and that strong, you have to like be strong yourself. Or when I go in the weight room, I do what I do. So um,
Hmm.
I don't joke around in the weight room. So I think it helps me a lot. And yeah, but like I figured out a film, watching films and scouts, knowing your personnel is gonna help you in the long run. That's when I started watching films and focusing on stuff like that because it helps me. Is most guys watch films just to watch the highlight. I watch films to see where I messed up and what I could do better. So you know,
Right.
I think overall rebounding the ball is mostly your positioning. Like when I watch film, I work out the way I'm positioned on the basketball court, what I should do, where I should stand, and how I should box out to help me get the ball. So I feel like me rebounding the ball is just being in the right place at the right time and paying attention to the details, boxing out before you gotta hit the guys before you get hit and stuff like that. So when you apply all those little things in the game, it helps you a lot and it makes a lot of changes. When it comes to block shot, I think that's what I do. That's what I do best, and I've been doing that since when I started playing basketball because I didn't really know how to play, but I was like, if I couldn't score, then I don't think I would let people score. So that's been
Yep.
my mindset since the very start, and yeah, it's just listening to your coaches and the people that have been through the process before you, and obviously they know better than you. So you listen to them and you watch films and apply those things to the game. You know, I think you're gonna be in a better situation and hopefully everything take care of yourself.
For sure. And I want to hone in on that point that you made about watching film. That's one of the hallmarks of great players. Everybody watches themselves, watch where they went wrong, what they can do better. That's to really improve and build that basketball IQ that you were talking about. When it comes to watching film, I'm just curious, Samto, do you watch film of like college players or NBA players, guys in the league that they're in the league right now in a position they're playing in a place that you want to play in eventually in your career? Do you watch like historic highlights of NBA players or other professional players to try to kind of learn things from them? Have you talked to any players on that level in the college professional ranks? Like, just curious if that's a part of your routine, like watching film of those guys, or you reach out to anybody to get advice. Do you do anything like that in your normal day to day routine?
Yeah, obviously, like I feel like if you want to learn something, you have to ask questions, and I think that's one of the things I try to do every day. Try to ask about things I don't know. Yeah, I do watch films, and the coaches and the staff over here do a great job with putting up films and putting together like you know stuff to put me in a successful position. So I watch films. I have other players that have been in the league that I try to stay in touch with, and ask questions whenever I do. When you have guys like Boogie Cousins, he was in the league, and he was I think at some point they calling him Bully Cousins, like the way he plays and stuff like that. You have Camille Anthony. He was in the league. He was great. You have Dwight Howard. I worked out with him sometime in the past. Like he's really great, and you know, just trying to learn from the greats. And when you learn from them, I think it's a really good thing because they have been in the position and they have also succeeded in that position that I'm trying to get to. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
it's really great to learn from them. And you know, watching films of players, like of course, when you watch films, you just don't watch it out of the highlight, like watching the highlight. I think it's great. It feels great. It looks good, but there are
Mm-hmm.
little things that they did to make it look great. And when you watch film and you pay attention to the details, I think it shows. And yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. You're watching the right players. Boogie Cousins, Dwight Howard. I mean, if you want to be dominant the way that you've been dominant so far, I mean, you're definitely on the right track. Those guys are not playing games. So I love that you're kind of watching those guys and learning from them. They're some of the best to ever do it. So to kind of wrap this up and really kind of bring us home, you recently committed to the University of Kentucky as your next destination here once you're done with Overtime Elite. Congratulations on that. Just want to throw that
Thank
out
you.
there and just
Thank you.
absolutely just wish you the best in your next stage of your journey here after this season. You had other opportunities, other schools you could have chosen. You could have chosen Florida, Indiana, Georgetown, Texas, Tennessee. There are other schools that you're looking at that are in the mix. There were some great players that went through Kentucky. I'm not sure if this factored into your decision, but you look at Jamal Murray, De'Aaron Fox, Bam Adebayo, players like that, Emmanuel Quickly, they all went through Kentucky and they're having great careers. Tyler Hero, the list is huge. So for you, what really kind of put Kentucky in the number one position, made you decide to commit to them for next season? What led to your decision to go there next in your basketball journey? Was it the lineage of players, the coaching? What led you to make that decision?
I think me going to Kentucky was predestined from the very start because the year I started playing basketball, because I didn't really know much about basketball until like 5 years ago or lately. So I started
Mm-hmm.
playing basketball, and it was just really manifestation because I think I went on YouTube one night. I was watching highlights of a kid just trying to figure out how to play basketball. I was watching highlights on YouTube or LeBron James, and then I started watching videos on trajectories, and I watched Anthony Davis highlights when he was in New Orleans. Uh, then I saw his college highlights on the suggestions. Then he was in Kentucky. Then you know I watched the game he won. I think he had like 9 blocks, like stuff like that. When stuff like that, like as a kid, I was like, oh wow, I want to be in this position. I want to go to the school. Then I said it out of like a joke, and but that inspired me to like work harder and believe that I could be here one day. And when the time came and I found out like, oh, this is really happening. I have opportunity to go to the school, and I'm actually about to live out my dreams. And I figured out like they had other players too that have been through the program and through the same process, and when you look at them now, obviously they're having like a tremendous amount of success in the league, and you know, I feel like that's the best route for me to take, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity, because I know other guys like where I'm from, like many people will do anything to have this kind of opportunity, like, but me being able to have one of the schools that I had dreamt as a kid to be in, it really means a lot to me, and I'm grateful for that. So yeah.
For sure. I love that, man. It looks like, you kind of made it a goal of yours early on, and your hard work has paid off. So congrats again on that. Can't wait to see how that plays out for you. They have a great program, so I'm sure big things are in the works for you. That's pretty much all I have for you, Somto. I really want to thank you again for taking the time to join this podcast. You guys are doing great things in OTE, and I definitely plan on hitting up some games and checking you out and see what you guys got going on. So keep up the great work. Keep doing what you're doing, and just wish you the best going forward this season and beyond.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. For No Trade Clause, you guys can check us out at notradeclause.com. No Trade Clause, one word, Instagram, no trade underscore clause for Twitter. We also have our YouTube page. So if you want to see more great interviews with and awesome individuals like Somto, be sure to check that out. We have a bunch of content here for you and more coming soon, hopefully with other members of the OTE program. So we're signing out for this interview. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next one.